Oh my god, it's Papa Swole. Oh my god.
Heyo, what's up, my booshes? My beaches, my booshes, my beaches, my sleeshes. Hello. Hello, 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 hello. What's up, Jesse? What up, boosh? What up, boosh? My booshes, my beaches. I'll just be listening today, got a lot to do. Oh, you're so busy. Oh, you're so busy. So much to do. So many gains to be hased, fam. It's not. Just tell it like it is. We got gains to make. Ya heard? Did you hear? Did you hear? Did you guys hear the news? Did you guys hear the news? It's time to make some gains. Have you heard the latest? Have you heard the latest update? All right, episode 924. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Thank you. Hey, no bullshit.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling.
Ooh, the bacon.
Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing. 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 Test equals. Welcome everyone to episode 924 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beardcast, broadcast, gaincast, mancast, pimpcast, sleevescast, slaycast, taintcast, mancast, sweet potato cast, America cast. In the realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex. What is going on? What's the good schword? What's the good schword? Where's the word? The bird's the word. Word. The bird is the word. Happy Friday. Happy pre-Black Friday, Black Week. Darkness is upon us, everyone. Darkness. It's just Black Week. It's Black Friday and it's Cyber Monday. It's just darkness. Just darkness. It's like the darkness in Independence Day, not the bullshit redo, the sequel, but the original Independence Day when it's just dark. Just the huge spaceship comes in and it's like, we are going to try to sell you everything. And Papa Swolio, I'm getting on the game train too. I will be having some amazing, I don't want to call it Black Friday. I'm just going to have black. I'm just going to be like black special, black stuff. Black Swole. So I'm going to stop saying those words until I misspeak and say something wrong by accident. Anyway, so yeah, awesome shit last night. Let's just get that out of the way. For those of you that were in Swolenormous XLRay, the masterclass last night was fire. The program design class was excellent. So those of you that were there live, fucking awesome. If you weren't there live, fuck you, and make sure you go watch it, especially if you're a member and you didn't watch live. Go check it out because it really breaks down a huge content release that happened yesterday, and I'll kind of outlined a lot of new stuff that's coming, so I hope you enjoyed it. It was awesome, and I hope you're having a good Friday. Who pumped today? Who got their pump on? Who got their pump on? Who got the pump on? Who did the Pumpy McPumperson? If you are new to the podcast, make sure you drop in the comments below if you're new to watching. And remember, you can subscribe to the podcast. Make sure you follow, make sure you subscribe, and you can check out more, swolenormousx.com. You can click on podcast, and you can get all the links to the different places where you can catch the gain train. Papa Swolio making gains. Got my black coffee. Let's see. Let me show you my cup today. A lot of you probably remember this one. This is, if you touch my beard, I get to touch your butt. Please touch my beard. If you touch my beard, I get to touch your butt. Please touch my beard. Touch it. It's okay. It's okay. Oh yeah. Oh, it feels good. About to head to the House of Gains now. Solid. Very good. Hello, mother bitches. What up? What up, Frank? What up? So today's episode is your gas station. And you see on the board behind me, fuel up, beesh. Fuel up, my beeshes. Fuel the fuck up. let's get some rage going. Let's get some fire going. And I'll take any kind of questions, I suppose, if you have questions, if I seem to want to take something. But what I do want to make sure we get across today is why we eat food. And I was having an excellent conversation. Oh, you know what? Before we start, I want to give a special shout out to my boy, Brandon Smith. Congratulations. 2nd degree black belt last night. 2nd degree black belt in Niseido Jiu-Jitsu. Fucking badass. So congratulations, Brandon. I wanted to be there, but I had a master class. I scheduled like an asshole. So congratulations. Those of you, how many of you here practice some type of martial art? Super cool. If you don't know anything about Niseido Jiu-Jitsu, it's fucking badass. It's like self-defense. It's hardcore. It's some serious shit. Serious shit. No joke. And a lot of you saw my Instagram story maybe like 2 weeks ago. Time flies. 2 or 3 weeks ago, where I was speaking at a function where all the dojos for Niseido Jiu-Jitsu came down, and I gave a little nutrition talk and hung out with the guys there, and they're awesome. Just great bunch of dudes and just savages too. I mean, the training is amazing. It's awesome to really understand the human body from my perspective, kinesiology, and from just a physical training standpoint, just to watch like a martial art, and actually a real functional one. So it's not just, okay, I'm kicking and I'm punching. It's real world in the street shit. So super cool. So again, congratulations, Brandon. 2nd degree, badass. He's only 22 years old. So that's a lot of dedication. And he's really good at what he does. All right, James Mark. If food is not necessarily healthy, if food that's not necessarily healthy doesn't cause inflammation, should you still stay away from it? Well, it's hard to tell if something's causing inflammation. Like, you don't always know. Inflammation is a physiological response. It's not like you eat something and your shoulder like inflames. It's not like a bruise. Not that you think it is. I'm just putting it out there. What do you mean not necessarily healthy? You should eat the foods. You should eat real food and eat the foods that are best for your body. Okay? So there's inflammation is a response. Like your body is always dealing with inflammation. It's not like you're ever inflammation free. You don't want to be inflammation free. Like when you're training, you're causing inflammation. Your body, it's your response. It's a negative feedback system. Your body is meant to heal things and fix things, and it's part of the thing. But you just don't want to be adding excess because it stresses the body out. And if there's an imbalance, then you're going to have stress hormones and cortisol levels that are too high, et cetera, et cetera. So today's episode, your gas station, is how I want you to think about your kitchen. Your kitchen, your food place is your gas station. I've used the analogy a lot. With your car. Your body is your car, and many people have used that same analogy. I've heard some people kind of knock that analogy a little bit, and I think that's stupid, because your body and your car is a fucking phenomenal analogy. It's a phenomenal analogy because you have to give fuel to a machine. Your body is a machine. A car is a machine. We don't think of the body as a machine because, it's organic, it's living tissue. We're bodies, we're humans. We're still animals, and we still have to provide ourselves with fuel. The difference is with a car, you have to put in a certain octane, you put in a certain fuel type, you put in a certain amount, and then it runs. With your body, we all of a sudden have all these different options, all these different things that we can do, all these different things that we can put into our body. So then we usually just kind of eject the fact that we have a choice, and we pretend that we have too much information. We make excuses and we just shove anything in there. And that's the problem. There is a specific type of fuel, and there are optimal fuels for your body. Everyone's body is different. There's bio-individuality. There's different needs, different stresses. There's different environmental factors, right? There's different allergies, genetics. There's different factors that is going to determine what foods you should eat to perform at your best, to look your best, to repair your best, to feel your best. Okay. So that's important. Okay. You have to understand the bio-individuality component, that everyone is different a little bit. So for example, some people might be violently allergic or have violent reactions to wheat, to gluten, to wheat germ gluten, and to those issues. Some people might not have as violent a reaction. Some people might not even notice anything. Doesn't mean it's good for them. Doesn't mean it's helping them, but they might not have crazy bloating, crazy cramps, migraine. Some people really explode with that shit. That's why it's important to understand what's best for your body. Now, when it comes to gas in your car, okay, we can agree that's a good analogy. You have to fuel your body, you fuel your car. I want you to think and reshift and reorganize, restructure your entire approach to even your house, your apartment, your kitchen. Your kitchen is your gas station. And I want to just think about this. Just think about this. When's the last time you went to a gas station to hang out? When's the last time you went to a gas station to hang out? Maybe high school, right? But when's the last time you went to a gas station when you didn't need gas? Maybe you ran in once. You ran in to get water, right? You had an emergency, you had to take a shit or something like that, right? But you don't go to a... How often do you think of a gas station aside from getting gas? And I want you to think of it as, don't tell me, oh, I go there to get an energy drink and I get some gum and they have the candy bar that I like. I'm not talking about the store and the food mart. I'm talking about gas, okay? You go to a gas station to, there you go, fam, get gas. Very good, very good, very good. We're all together now. You go to a gas station to get gas. Why do you go into your kitchen? To get food. Okay. If you treat your kitchen like a gas station, there's no need to be in there. There's no need to be eating things when you aren't requiring fuel. You don't need to hang out in the kitchen. You don't need to be eating stuff for snacks. You don't give your car fucking snacks. You don't need a fucking snack. You need to eat food. Most of you are trying to organize your schedule and having 3 big meals and 3 small snacks. If you're requiring snacks, you're not eating the right foods at those 3 meals, or you're not eating big enough meals. You don't need snacks. You don't. If you're getting sufficient food, you do not need snacks. You eat the food when you're hungry, when your body needs fuel, you get your calories in, you get your nutrients in, and then you move on. Snacks are just kind of like an excuse, and it's usually a product of eating way too many carbohydrates, processed carbohydrates, being on that insulin roller coaster when you have that crash and you have those cravings. It's also being dehydrated, being chronically exhausted, and being, having your fucking circadian rhythm all fucked up, which causes release of different hormones and different neurotransmitters that give you these cravings that are just not accurate. All right? Yeah, exactly, Ramon. You fill up your tank and go. You get your gas and you fucking leave. You don't need to hang out in the kitchen. So you need to think about where you get your food as a gas station. The kitchen is a gas station. Go in, you fill up your tank, and you fucking go on your way. All right? You don't go into the gas station every couple hours, right? You don't go to work in the morning, for example, fill up your gas tank, drive a little bit, go back to the gas station, put another $1 in and then go home. You don't give your car a snack. Your car's got fuel. It's good. Fucking go and do work, and then it's ready to drive. It's ready to drive. It's ready to hustle, right? What's your input on multiple smaller nutrient-packed meals per day? If you prefer it, but you certainly don't need to have multiple meals, that's not necessarily going to change anything. When it comes to nutrient timing, intermittent fasting, smaller meals, larger meals, that's usually just preference. I don't think it's ever a bad idea. I don't think it's really a bad idea to go longer periods without eating. I think intermittent fasting in itself, like 16-8, it's not really fasting. It's not really fasting. You're just skipping breakfast. You're just not eating for a couple hours. If you really want to test and see the benefits of actual fasting, you need to do some actual fasting. It needs to be like 36 hours, 24. It needs to be something more significant, in my opinion. It's not really fasting by just skipping a meal. Oh, I don't eat from 10 o'clock until 2. It's like most people don't. And think about that, right? When we talk about what foods you should be eating, think about a lot of people don't eat breakfast. Oh, I'm just not hungry in the morning. And he used to say, whoa, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. You should be eating X, Y, and Z. And now all of a sudden, we call it intermittent fasting, and now it's a fad. Now it's a health thing. Does anyone else think that's fucking weird? For years, ever since we were all little, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. So when you skip breakfast, oh, that's not healthy. You're skipping breakfast. You're not getting your energy. All of a sudden now it's called intermittent fasting, and now it's a health push, and everyone's on board. It's the same fucking thing. You're not eating for a while. Okay? You're not eating for a while. That's it. A 16-8? No, you're just skipping breakfast. Stop tricking yourself. You're just skipping breakfast. And you're restricting your eating window so you're less likely to overeat. The problem is when people do shit like that is they're generally not eating the right foods. So they have bigger cravings, they pound a lot of carbs, and they actually overeat in that window. People use intermittent fasting so they can eat more, or they can indulge more, or feel like they eat more. They don't have to think about it. They can just pack the food in because I'm intermittent fasting, only eating one time a day, so I just got to pound food. And they tend to overeat, and they tend to eat the wrong foods because your body can really only handle so much food at one time, so many nutrients, process so many things, and it can be very stressful on the body. So your stomach will shrink a little bit. It won't be constantly being stretched out by food all day. At the same time, if you're not eating the right foods, you're going to get nutrient deficiencies, and you're not getting enough calories, not getting enough energy, not getting enough micronutrients, and so forth. So I don't necessarily think that necessarily one meal a day is the answer, but I am open to the idea that doing actual fasting has benefits, right? Your body is designed. It's good to exercise the body. It's good to exercise the body physiologically. It's good to exercise the body physically, mentally, right? You got to be challenged. You got to be challenged outside your comfort zone. And we have a lot of food around us. Food is ubiquitous, especially this time of year. We have holidays that just revolve around food. Thanksgiving is like a made up holiday where we indulge all these fucking garbage foods. We just pound foods, pies, and this and the other. It's an excuse. We call it family. We get together. We're thankful. So we just binge eat. It's so fucking twisted. It's a national excuse day. That's really what it is. It doesn't mean anything. You could still spend time with family. You don't have to just pound garbage. It's weird. It's weird. Humans are weird. And that's okay. As long as you're aware that humans are weird, and as long as you're aware of what you're actually doing. You have a choice to do these things. You have a choice to indulge. You have a choice whenever you go into your kitchen, whenever you go into your gas station. Get actual food. Fill up your tank and fucking move on. Fill up your tank and move on. Turkey and sweet potatoes. I know. I'm going to bring grass-fed beef. I'm going to bring steak. I'm fine. I am fine spending time with family and eating the food that I like to eat. I might have some turkey too. I might have a little bit of the weaker meat. You never know. But food is food. Food is fuel. I'm going to put fuel in my car and spend time with people. Nothing wrong with that. I don't have to be pounding shit that I would never eat normally for an arbitrary reason. Okay? Now, that being said, all this nutrient timing that we were talking about before, putting too much pressure on it. That's not the answer. That's not the answer. That's not going to get you more results by skipping breakfast. It's not going to get you amazing results. It always comes down to what you're eating. You love the updates to X. Well, thank you. Thank you, Jennifer. I appreciate that. I think you saw my comment, right? That program vault's not new, but I think you're talking about like where it's going and the big announcements last night. So yeah, definitely not done yet. Always tweaking. I would have been up all night last night. I was so amped to keep on doing work. I'm like, no, go to sleep. Do it tomorrow. Thanksgiving, eat until you're paralyzed. Oh, I know that. Most people eat until they're paralyzed. Most people eat until they're just fucking stuffed. They eat until they can't move. Well, to each their own. Oh, thanks, Michelle. Hey, Swole, best podcaster ever. Oh, shucks, making me blush through my beard. Where should a beginner to the healthy lifestyle start in both the gym and with nutrition? Elimination, you should start eating and focusing on what foods you're consuming. Meditation, yoga is excellent. And general total body workouts are great for a beginner. Resistance training. Got to get started. That's a very, 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 very vague and generalized question. So you get that general answer. That's why I created Swolenormous X, so I can have it all mapped out. So if you're interested in that, you can check out swolenormousx.com. You can wait for the Black Week. I don't want to call it Black Friday because it's turning into like Black Month to hook into that. So yeah. But think of your kitchen as a gas station. It's not a social I think it's also different because I have like a little small table in the kitchen. I don't have a dining room area. I think if you have a big area to eat, you got to use it, right? You got to put all these plates out. You got to put all these settings. It's kind of like I almost have like a food counter where I go in, I put a plate down, I take the food out, I put it on the plate and I eat. It's not super, I think it's a better idea, if you think about it, to make your kitchen or your dining area not that comfortable. Have hard chairs or have something where it's not, you don't want to sit around and hang out and spend a lot of time. Make it so like either you have to stand up when you're making your food and you have to kind of like sit on a stool. Make it so you want to get in and get the fuck out and get back to work, right? You fuel up. It's amazing how many people really just want to associate nutrition and food with entertainment. And the only reason is because it's just like a movie. When you eat something, if it tastes good, you get this like excitement release. You get this like, oh, it's so good. There aren't a lot of things. What other senses do we have that we get instant gratification like that? I don't know. Not a lot. You have something that tastes good, you feel great, right? Oh my God, it tastes so good. Oh my God, it's so good. What do you have to look at? You have to look at something, wow, like a beautiful sunset. Not everyone really gets to see that. You get to see, I don't know, you go to a zoo or you see like the ocean or something. Not everyone has like a beautiful sight or can appreciate, nature as much. You get a massage. How often do people get massages or, something physical? Blowjobs. There you go, Randy. Not everyone gets those often. So, you have like how many senses, how much instant gratification can you get by different senses? Really, no matter where you live in the country, no matter what sites you have, whether you're in a city, whether you're in a country, whether you can have garbage food and get that instant taste gratification, that instant spike that radiates through your body. You get that hormone shift, that hormone release, you get that sugar pump, you get all these different sensations and these reactions inside your body when you have food. So of course we gravitate towards food because boom, you get that fucking full body high, temporary high, and then you move on with your day. You don't get that with anything else. You get that with lifting, but that takes effort. You get that with massage, that costs money, or you need someone to give you one, or foam rolling, that takes time. It's easy to sit on your fucking ass and just put something in your mouth, and it's everywhere. So we have just so much more stimulus, so much more physical response to food, which is why we gravitate towards food, which is why entertainment, even when we go to watch a movie, it's got to be something going in the mouth too. Even if you go bowling or you go top golf or some shit, it's stuff you got to put in your mouth. If you go Thanksgiving, it's stuff you got to put in your mouth. You go meet with friends, it's drinks and stuff you got to fucking put in your mouth. It's really weird. It's really weird. It's just the society that we built around it. And once you step back and you see it for what it is, it's like a fucking circus. It's a circus, and it's a big sham. It's a big scam. It's just very, very, it's not accurate. It's not accurate. It's a very strange thing. It's a strange thing, people. When you look at it and you look at it as like little ants running around, going here and eating this, it's very, very weird. And for one, I want to be healthy. I want to feel good. I want to be healthy. I want to feel good. I want to fuel my body with the food that it needs. I don't want to be eating crap. It's the only way. Look, your mouth. Your mouth. It's the only place that food fucking goes in. It's the only place food goes in. Your body, your titties, your dick, your puss, your butt, your back, your biceps, every single cell in your body is feeding off what you're giving it. If you have a garden, if you ever had a plant or you see flowers and you pour like hot boiling fucking like oil, like they're going to die. When you think about your body, you're cultivating things. Now you don't really, and I didn't create this concept, but I've heard this from many, many doctors and top, medical professionals. You have to think about your gut. You have trillions of bacteria, hundreds and hundreds of trillions of bacteria in your gut, in your ecosystem. So think of these as flowers, plants, ecosystem. What you put in your body is going to grow and cultivate Essentially, your body is like a condo. It's an apartment complex for organisms. That's all we are. We're just like a bag. We're just like a bunch of just jelly and liquid. Okay? That we provide bacteria a place to thrive, to feed. And if you're giving your body bad food, you are fueling and perpetuating bad bacteria. That's right, bacteria that thrive off sugar, bacteria that thrive off chemicals. And the good bacteria that need quality food, for example, that thrive on quality food, they die off. And your entire gut ecosystem shifts. And this happens very, very quickly and also takes a long time. So there's different levels of this type of shift. There's like micro shifting and there's like macro changes, right? You don't just, that's why when you shift your diet, all of a sudden, boom, it's not like you snap your fingers and all of a sudden your entire body and your gut biome is different. When you have a dietary shift, a good percentage of your bacteria will turn over quickly, but then we also have this like foundational major shift, this macro shift that takes months and sometimes years to recultivate, right? So we have many, many different types of species of bacteria. And this is even above, like I couldn't name any of them, how many different types I couldn't tell you, but bacteria, if you look under a microscope, like you know how many there are, or you can imagine. And we're so far removed from science, most people haven't looked in a microscope. Most people don't know what is actually crawling around and swimming around in our body. And it's everywhere, especially in our gut. And that's where our immunity comes from. Most of our immunity comes from our gut. And can you imagine having a porous intestinal tract, leaky gut, having open, inflamed gaps where shit gets through that shouldn't get through? We have an ecosystem inside our body that's protected from the rest of our body. So the intestines, the gut, is literally its own little world that is separated on purpose. It's separated from the rest of the body. You don't have like feces and shit just like sifting through the body. You'd fucking die, right? So it's sealed off. And especially in the small intestines, you have these little gaps, right? You have these little kind of like toll booths, and the body lets things through. It lets sugars through or fats through. It absorbs nutrients that you're consuming, but it allows what needs to go through, what should go through, and keeps the things that shouldn't go through and sends them out, and we poop it out, right? When you have inflammation, when you're eating the wrong foods, you're populating bad bacteria. You're also inflaming the body, causing gaps, and things get through that should not get through. And they cause immune reactions. They cause joint pain, migraines, swelling, bloating, sluggishness. They cause reactions in the body because we are fighting ourselves when we shouldn't be fighting. We shouldn't be fighting these things because they shouldn't be getting through. So you have to understand, when you're eating food, you are not just fueling your body. And again, people think about food as just fucking calories. I eat this, it's fuel. I'm not talking about energy, jabronis. I'm not talking about just energy, just fuel. When you eat food, it is creating your body. It is creating and recreating. Every time you have a meal, you are making a choice on what body you want to have. You are making a choice about what bacteria and what type of ecosystem you want to create in your gut. You can change this over time, and you can improve it, and it was going to change, and your body is going to change, and what you need is going to change. So every time, it's like placing a vote. Okay? If you buy a product from a certain company, essentially you are voting for that company. You're saying, I want this company to stay in business. I'm going to buy their product. That's why when someone does something bad, people boycott. I'm not buying this from this. With your body, every time you take a bite of something, you are placing a vote. You are saying, I want this to be a part of my system. I want this to result in X, Y, and Z. So if you're eating garbage, you're telling your body, I want my body to perpetuate garbage bacteria, shit that will digest this type of crap, and the consequences that will come from these foods, because they are long lasting. They do stay there. Like, you are encouraging bacteria that shouldn't be in your gut or that shouldn't be thriving because you're eating all these foods, like your body's going to adapt. Remember, I told you your body is going to adapt to what you give it. It's a response machine. So if you are giving your body garbage food, it is going to try to keep a population, essentially, just to whittle it down to make it as easy to understand as possible. Your body is going to perpetuate and create a situation where there's more of that bacteria that will handle that garbage food. And it's going to do its best to keep the body alive. And we know that sometimes eventually it breaks, right? Diabetes, heart disease, like it's going to do its best. And that's going to lead to certain outcomes. So every time you eat something, think about what you are trying to create in your body. Do you want a healthy body? Do you want good bacteria? Do you want good balance? Do you want to try to encourage your body to have a healthier outcome? Or do you just want your body to try to defend itself and be like, hey, body, do the fucking best you can with this shit. Let's see what happens. Because literally you're rolling the dice. And some people aren't as resilient as others. Okay? Having a six-pack does not mean you're healthy. Having abs does not mean you're healthy. You could be rotting from the inside out. And this stuff doesn't lead to chronic disease in a week. Oh, I had McDonald's for a month and now I'm going to be sick. No, it's this chronic exposure and this chronic growing and growth and perpetuation of these bad bacteria and this imbalance. And your gut biome is completely fucked. And you have inflammation in your gut. You have shit that's getting through that shouldn't get through, like I mentioned, leaky gut syndrome and the like. And then eventually your body just can't handle it. And you start having these chronic diseases and issues that are a result of this exposure. It's a result of you doing this all the time for years. And I'm not saying it means every single day, but even a couple times a week, once a week, it does add up. You're giving your body shit to juggle. Okay. So remember, your body is a car. Your body needs fuel. Your body has a specific type of fuel. And I mentioned in the Instagram post today, and I believe I posted on Facebook as well, humans are regional. We have this ubiquitous food environment where we can get food from all over the world whenever we want to. That's not how human beings naturally are. We are regional people. We will eat what is available during the summer, during the winter. Like, we deal with whatever we have in our environment. Now we have the ability to have so many different foods. Okay, so we have the ability to get more variety than we ever have been exposed to in human history. At the same time, people just ignore all that variety and all that food that's available and eat garbage. Stuff that's never, period, never, ever, ever been available to creatures on Earth ever. So rather than, hey, we have so much variety, you don't need all the fucking variety. You don't need every single fucking micronutrient on Earth. You don't need every different type of greens. I understand it can seem overwhelming when you're like, oh my God, look at all these different vegetables. There's arugula, there's spinach, there's baby kale, there's adult kale, there's, collard greens, there's this, there's fruits, there's this type of fruit, there's this antioxidant, blah, blah, blah. You don't fucking need all that shit. People have been living to be ripe old ages throughout history without all those different nutrients. It's because the body can create a lot of these things. Your body can mix and match like Legos as long as it has some basic foundational nutrients. Doesn't mean that you can't be getting nice variety, but you don't need all this variety every single day. It's cumulative, okay? Your body builds up nutrients. Your body builds up like it's one day into the next, but your body is a system. You're constantly adding things to your body, good foods, real foods, and then you figure out the details of what works best for you and your lifestyle and your goals. But it's still real food. So understand that every time you eat something good or bad, you're making a vote, you're making a choice, and literally your body is going to defend itself as much as it can, but eventually the bow's going to break and you're going to fuck your shit up. And it happens when you get older because you've been damaging your body for 30, 40, or 50 years. It's not rocket science. It's common fucking sense, which most people don't have. So every time you eat, remember, it's a gas station. It's a pit stop. Go in there, get your fucking shit, fuel up, and then go on with your life. Bring your food. Understand that your choices do matter. And you can believe me. You can believe me. You don't have to believe me. You could do whatever you want. I'm just offering up information. And unfortunately, information is usually not good enough to change people's habits. But hopefully I strike a nerve and give you some perspective. Like, oh, I never thought about it that way. Oh, I never thought about that way. I never thought about that way. And then maybe it might kind of open your eyes a little bit, crack the door open a little bit for you to make some actual fucking change in your life. Hey, what's up, cat? Bozic. Yeah. Tell him I said that. He'll remember. Kellner. Love you guys. So does that make sense? Are we good? Does that make sense? Got a lot of people. You got quiet. We got quiet on Facebook over here. I know. When Papa Swole goes into full-blown rant mode, everyone just like, oh, shit. I got to throw shit out of my fridge. I got to clean out the closet. Colton, people keep telling their bodies, fuck you. And eventually the body, where'd that go? Where'd that go? Colton, yeah. I saw your dinner with the meatballs, sweet Pete, and sauerkraut. Oh, that was so good, man. It's so good. I'm going to have some more today. I love my food. Everyone, I love my food. Don't get me wrong. I fucking love my food. I think people think that when you're, quote, dieting does not mean that you're restricting your body and you're eating miserable. Like literally, I love my food. I'm not dieting. I mean, diet means way of eating. It means way of eating. It doesn't mean, oh, eat 1,000 calories a day. Marketing ruin that fucking word. Diet is a good word. It's not a bad word. Everyone loves to hate on that word. It's not a bad fucking word. Diet means way of eating. Done. Look it up in the fucking dictionary. The Greeks knew what they were talking about. I love my food. My friends, I love my food. I am not dieting. I have a diet and I fucking love it. I crave my food. I love my food and it's real fucking food. I don't have cravings like, oh my God, I gotta eat. I gotta fucking eat. No, I mean, I look forward to it because I love the taste. I love my food. I love my healthy fats. I love my grass-fed beef, my super fatty fucking beef. I love it. Love my sweet potatoes. I love my mixed greens. I love my broccoli sprouts. I love my avocado. I love my olive oil. I love my coconut oil. I love my olives. I love fat. I love fat. It's delicious. It's satisfying. And it makes me feel fucking amazing. And not everyone might feel so amazing with a high fat diet. I'm certainly not in ketosis. I don't prescribe to that. But not everyone will like fat as much. Not everyone can digest and metabolize fats the same way. That is what I am saying. So I am not one of those fitness jabronis that's going to sit here and be like, well, if you're, you have to be ketosis. Ketosis is how you lose weight. I'm the keto guy. I'm the keto guy. I'm the paleo guy. Hate that shit. You just sound, from a professional to a professional standpoint, those people sound like assholes. Asshole fucking idiots to me. That's all I hear. And I know when it comes to the customer, the audience, all of you, when you're watching me, because I know I'm not the only person that you follow. I'm not the only person that you watch or listen to. But a lot of these other people, they just plant their flag. They plant their flag like they're sticking their dick in banana pudding. It's just, this is the way it is. This is my thing. And they just focus on that fucking thing. And it's not, you're only helping a small, you're affecting who you can help. And the real thing is, most of these people don't know about what I'm talking about. They're not aware of this. Okay. They look at it from a marketing. What can I push? What can I promote? What worked for me? Let me talk about that all the time. I try to give content. And I try to give these concepts so I can help anyone. This is the starting point. It's just the beginning, doing an elimination, assessing what foods are best for you. It's part of the process. This is how you're going to find the ultimate diet for you. For you, Ramon, Eric, Holly, Mike, James, each and every single one of you has your own diet, way of eating, not restriction, not miserable, way of eating, best foods for you, bio-individuality. Google it. You got an amazing fucking super phone on your, in your possession. Google it. Bio-individuality. Everyone's going to be a little bit different. Genetically, lifestyle-wise, performance-wise, needs, goals, gaining weight, losing weight, building muscle. The fuck out of here, right? Everyone's different. And if we're getting into this whole gut biome and how your body is literally a vessel to carry on bacteria, those bacteria make the difference. And what you feed is what's going to cause cravings. That's why when you stop eating carbohydrates, when you're on a fucking carb and sugar roller coaster, you have those cravings because the bacteria that feed on that shit are dying. And the gut-brain axis is real. Your gut communicates with your brain and vice versa. And that's why it's linked directly to depression, ADHD, all these fucking things. Your food intake and this communication is absolutely key to your health, to your quality of life, to your performance, everything. Jason, one of the ads on IG was saying the quote secret was to eat cheat meals. Oh, fucking people. The only thing is, I feel like Facebook and Instagram should be screening ads just like they do with politics, right? Every time I run ads and promotions, it's like, are you someone who promotes this, blah, you know, because they don't want to bias elections. They want it to be like some, you know, authentic and real. But it's always been this way. Nutrition and fitness is the Wild West. And with all the technology, it's still, people are just saying whatever the fuck they want to say. And if you're gullible enough to believe it, or you happen to contact or see that first, of course, they're going to tell you what you want to hear. They're going to tell you what you want to hear. Why wouldn't they? Because then you'll buy what they have to sell. They're going to tell you what you want to hear. You take this protein powder, it's going to help you build muscle, help you recover faster. Oh, cool. People just buy that shit. It's fucking food. You try to take a supplement without having your food on point, it's going to bite you in the ass in the end. It will. Guaranteed. Well, nothing's guaranteed. That's kind of the point, but percentages are high. That's why a lot of people don't have results and aren't happy with where they are. It's because that shit doesn't work. Okay? You got to have some effort and take responsibility. Where is the responsibility? Where's the responsibility for your own health? What's up, Matthew? Eric Dean, I love my current diet and lifting plan. I'm up 5 pounds with the same waist size. Lifts are going great now. I mean, when you pursue this, and those of you that are watching, and many are, drop it in the comments now because I want to read some of them. How many of you are like really enjoying the food that you're eating, but you're eating like you either did an elimination process, you are eating real foods, but you love the food that you eat. Like you enjoy it because you love how you feel. You love your performance. You love the taste. It really helps you. Like I literally love my food. I love the results. I love the satisfaction. I love how full I feel. I love my physical appearance. Like I just love what it does with my body. And I love to eat it, which is great. So I indulge, I eat my food, and then I move on. But I don't eat from cravings. I eat from hunger. It's like, oh, you mean I'm a human being? Oh, I need energy? Oh, yeah. No, I eat the fuel I need, and then I move on with my day. I eat what I need, and then I go on. I don't eat for cravings. I don't eat with like hunger pains, like, oh my God, I'm starving. No, I'm hungry. I'm an animal. I'm hungry. I need to feed. And I go and I feed, and I fucking go on my day, and I grunt, and I move on with my life, and I go crush. Nathan, I love what I eat. Good man. Joanne, I'm just learning to eat the right way. It's amazing. It is. When you give your body the real fucking shit it needs, game changer. Randy, yes, of course. Garlic chicken, steak. Can't wait to eat it. Jennifer, I do. Second elimination going strong. I can see changes in these past 3 weeks. I'm digging my fatty meals and eat less. Number 5 and 6 meals, though, which is very nice. Sweet. People at work keep asking how I'm staying this way and eating all the time because I'm eating the right shit. True story, Eric. And I've been lifting heavy. Good man. Well, Sharon, that's called giving yourself the fuel, right? I wouldn't say I love the taste of all my food, but I love the way those foods make me feel, so I tolerate them. Spices and seasonings have been helping. Well, depends. Maybe, and also maybe you just, and that's part of the process of figuring out how you like to prepare them. Just because you figure out, oh, this food's like really good for my body, but maybe it doesn't. Usually, look, when you're eating real food, and here's my, it's anecdotal, you know, this is my opinion, you know, so just check this out. Your taste buds, if you reset your body and you're eating real food, your taste buds are part of our evolution, right? So if I enjoy, I'm like, oh, this fatty meat is delicious. That should tell you something. It's not a trick. It's real nature food. If it wasn't good for your body, it would probably taste like shit, right? Of course, artificial things taste good because they are literally constructed in a lab to trigger certain responses on the taste buds and in your brain. So that's when you make Doritos, that's not random shit. Oh, we're just making a chip. No, they test and test and test to make sure that it fucking triggers this craving response and this obsession. So that's all orchestrated. But real food, if it tastes really good, chances are your body, there's a reason why it tastes good. That means your body's going to want to eat it. Well, why? Think about it. Because it has caloric density, it has nutrient value, it has things that your body needs, things that your body wants. Your body in nature is going to want that food. It wants it for a reason. There's something in there that it wants. That's what these taste buds are giving you. They're telling you, oh, this isn't poisonous. Let me eat that, right? What do your senses tell you? If you grab something that's too hot, your senses tell you that's fucking hot as shit. You're supposed to eat with your fingers, not with a fork. Do you know why? Do you know why eating with a fork is just fundamentally distancing yourself with food? Because a fork doesn't tell you when something's hot. Your fingers are supposed to touch something. Oh, this is hot. Let me not eat it. When you put something really hot on a spoon or a fork and you put it in your mouth, it's too late. You burn the fuck out of your mouth. And you damage your taste buds. You damage your defense mechanisms that tell you what foods it needs to eat, what's tasty, what's not, what's poisonous, what's not. If you eat with your fingers, you know if it's hard, you know if it's soft, you know if it's hot, you know if it's cold. That's why we have senses, all right? Your body literally will tell you things. Your body will tell you. It's amazing what happens when you start listening to what it's saying. And I love my food. I crave it. I love the taste. I love the flavor. I love the energy. And that's just part of my journey. I'm 35. It's not like I've been doing this for 2 years. This has been my life of training. And I've experienced eating a lot of processed carbs and shit that wasn't good for me. And much, much, much better. Doesn't mean I didn't build muscle. Doesn't mean I didn't have a physique. But my body, just everything performing better. Doing what I do now. And that's called learning. Oh, it's called learning, adjusting. Yeah, it's called the journey, the process, whatever you want to call it. That's it. I love to eat. I love the food that I eat. And I can't wait to get off this fucking podcast so I can't eat. I'm hungry. I'm really hungry. Been just drinking some cold brew today, so I'm ready to pound. Oh, yeah. Absolutely same thing, Mike. I thought grass-fed beef was disgusting when I first ate it. I was eating 98% lean, gross, dry. Now I eat 65-35, and they're buttery and juicy. I eat 55, about 50% fat. You see me in the oven. It's like fucking just soaking in oil. I use beef tallow. I love my fats. Steak and white rice with broccoli and carrots have been my go-to lately. I eat that after my sweet potato and eggs meal. Nice. Yeah, I just love my sweet potatoes. I haven't had rice in a while. I just never felt really beneficial eating rice. I just never really felt the benefit. When I have sweet potatoes, I feel the difference. Rice has kind of just been like, white rice. I mean, if I'm going to get sushi or something, I'm going to kind of splurge then. All right, I do that then as part of like the rolls or whatever, but not really. I don't really focus too much on that anymore. I might try implementing it again because I used to love one of my certain meals, like, grass-fed ground beef with rice. But I stopped just for a reason, just naturally. Just physically, I feel better when I gravitate towards specific foods. My sweet potatoes, after they're cooled, so they are more resistant. That's another little trick. I said that a few times. If you have a sweet potato, let it cool, and then the starch is more resistant. It's less impact on your blood sugar. It'll digest better and you'll feel better. And you can even make it more resistant by heating it up again and then cooling it off again. But when you have sweet potatoes, let it cool first and try it and see if you like it more. Any tips for intermittent fasting? Skip breakfast. Have I done it before? Yeah, but it's not necessary. Every once in a while, I'll do it like by accident, but it's not required to lose weight or to be extra healthy. It's just not eating breakfast. I would look into actual fasting if you're interested in that. Intermittent fasting is kind of like a little fad, a little bit on the fad side. It really is. It really is. If you really want some benefits, and I know you'll like, oh, well, this shows, come on. If you're trying to bulk too, if you're trying to put on muscle, don't do intermittent fasting. You need calories. You need to have excess. It's very hard. It's kind of opposite of what you want to be approaching if you're trying to like bulk up or something. But, it's not like a requirement. This is really like a buzzword. Intermittent fasting is a big time buzzword. But there are benefits to fasting. I mean, it's beneficial for your body to have to like scrounge for nutrients to cleanse itself, autophagy, and, break down cells, which is doing all the time anyway. But it's good to give your body that kind of like exercise in terms of getting food from other sources and breaking things down the body. You can't eat sweet potatoes, but you love purple potatoes. With the Japanese ones, why can't you eat sweet potatoes? You can't or you won't. Sounds like you won't. Speaking of silverbacks, how are they so strong for just eating veggies? Well, first off, they eat like so many fucking pounds a day, and they're a completely different creature. Genetics. I love how people are going to say, like, you get the vegans, well, animals, gorillas. We're not fucking gorillas, bro. The reason why we evolved is because probably like some fucking monkey started eating like mushrooms or started eating meat, and chimps eat meat. Chimps kill each other. Chimps are fucking savage. So you can't compare. I love it when people try to be like, well, we have a more of a similar digestive system to a rhinoceros than we do. What the fuck are you talking about? You're not a rhinoceros. You're a human being. So you can't compare like that. You can't compare that shit. You can't like, how do you compare? You compare me to compare us to a giraffe or something. Well, giraffes are really tall and have really long. Yeah, we're not gorillas. Like, we literally are not gorillas. We're human beings. It's called evolution. It's called evolution. Even squirrels eat chipmunks. Ooh, goddamn. I didn't know that, really? Savage. Savage. Savage squirrel. Now I'm just picturing just like rabid squirrels. Chipmunks. Chipmunks. Anyway, fam, so enjoy this episode. Rewatch it, re-listen to it if you need to. Seriously, your body's your gas station. Fuel up, and fucking move on. But it's really part of that entire process. Okay? Understand that every time you eat food, you're making a vote. You're placing a vote for your body. Placing a vote. You're voting for the bacteria. You're voting for what you want to populate in your system. Okay? And there is a different style. There is a nutrition plan for each of you. There is. But you have to put in the work. You have to actually listen to your body. You have to cut things out. You have to test. You have to eat real food. And you have to be very, very diligent with it and understand that there is a resetting period. It's not going to be, you're going to have those cravings and those addictions because you got bacteria dying off. You have these habits and you have this association. It's like any other kind of addiction. You're used to doing something. You have habits and you're used to eating things. You're used to going after certain foods. You're used to having these tastes. You have to reset. It takes time. That's why I love fat, because fat is very satisfying. It's very nutrient dense when you have it with, I'm not saying don't eat greens. I'm not, I would never go full carnivore or cut out all those things, but it's important to get a breadth of nutrients. And as far as we know, having a mixed diet is excellent. However, I think there should still be a focus on specific types of foods, and you're only going to know what's best for you by putting that into practice. Some people have allergies to peanuts. Some people have allergies to or reactions and inflammation from bread, really nasty. Dairy, really nasty. Legumes, really nasty. Like I said, peanuts, legumes, same thing. Peanuts are a legume, and most people have issues with that. They just don't eliminate to test their sensitivity. Their body puts up defenses, and that's where chronic inflammation comes from. And that's why people have chronic issues getting rid of fat, love handles, things that just like won't go away and get rid of, because you have chronic inflammation, which means chronic stress, which means chronic elevation of stress hormones like cortisol, which means fat storage, water retention, all those things, mood swings, low mood, low energy, migraines, crashes, insomnia. And can you imagine you're eating a food that fucks with your sleep? Either you have trouble falling asleep, you have poor sleep patterns. You're not sleeping deep enough. You're not recovering. So that's even more stress. And then cortisol levels are even higher. So you have all this chronic inflammation, chronic stress, sleep deprivation, dehydration. There are a lot of factors, and most people are scanning over all those, looking for a quick fix diet plan, looking for a powder, looking for some calorie counting trick. It's not that. It's fundamentally changing your life and treating your body like an actual human, like an organism that needs to sleep, that needs darkness, that needs to cut out blue light, that needs to have proper hydration, that needs to have real nutrients, that needs to be consistent, that needs to exercise, that needs to meditate and manage stress. There are a lot of factors, and it can seem overwhelming, but you have to start. You start simply. You start by exercising. You start by creating that foundation. You start with eliminating all these bad foods, doing the elimination process like we talked about a couple episodes ago. You surround yourself with good people that are positive community and positive, environment for you to grow and ask questions, and that won't fucking blow smoke up your ass. Like all of us in Swole Enormous X, we don't blow smoke. We tell it like it is, just like here on the Daily Swole. It's experience, it's education, and a lot of it's common sense that isn't that common anymore, unfortunately. But we are going to uncover as much as we can and keep the fucking hammer slamming down every damn fucking day. So thank you so much for joining me for episode 924 of the most muscular Swolecast, Beercast, Broadcast, Gangcast, Mancast, Pimpcast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex. We all flex our biceps. Stay plugged in here on Facebook, on Instagram. You got some great shit coming up for this holiday week, Black Friday, Black Week. Everyone is going to make some sick fucking gains, and I am going to lay down the most amazing shit you can ever imagine to help you do that. It's going to be super fucking awesome. And again, those of you that are in Swole Enormous X already, hope you enjoyed the live masterclass last night on program design. It was fucking lit. Going to go work on some more content today and get this party started. So enjoy the rest of your day. Follow me everywhere. Subscribe to the podcast. Learn more about the programs, nutrition, private community, SwoleEnormousX.com. And I'll see you all tomorrow for episode 925. Peace, McGeese. Deuce, Magoose. Papa Swolio. Out.